Bonjour tout le monde, j'espère que vous allez bien. Aujourd'hui, on va corriger le travail d'hier sur les animaux et les animaux en voie de disparition. Animals who are on the way, like en voie means on the road to extinction. Ok, so on va lire le texte et après je vais vous donner les réponses aux questions et après ça on va préparer une autre rédaction sur ce sujet. Ok. Un espèce animal disparaît toutes les 20 minutes. Ok. 26% des mammifères, 42% des amphibiens, 30% des requins et raies et 13% des oiseaux sont en voie de disparition. So 26% of mammals, 42% of amphibians, 30% of requins are your sharks et raies, your rays, et 13% of birds are en voie de disparition. Really important term there, lads. En voie de disparition, make sure you note it, is to be on the road to extinction. Cette disparition massive, qualifiée de sixième crise d'extinction, est d'une vitesse anormalement élevée et ne cesse d'accélérer de manière exponentielle, so exponential growth. À ce rythme-là, at this rate, et si rien n'est fait, and if nothing is done, la faune sauvage ne sera plus qu'un souvenir que nos enfants découvriront dans un beau livre d'images. Découvriront, what tense is it? Future simple. Okay, why? How do we know? Future simple ending. That they will discover in the beautiful pictures of a book, and that's only that they'll only be a memory. But we're talking here about la faune sauvage, wildlife. Okay, so le constat: les menaces qui pèsent lourdement sur la faune sauvage. So the analysis, the threats, remember menace are threats, qui pèsent, which weigh lourdement, heavy on wildlife. So réchauffement climatique et augmentation de gaz à effet de serre, CO2, you definitely know that from this week. So we'll move on. Utilisation massive de combustibles fossiles, énergie fossile, combustibles fossiles, fossil fuels, agriculture, élevage intensif, utilisation d'engrais. Engrais is your fertilizer, okay? Surexploitation, destruction massive des forêts, autant d'activités humaines, so much human activity, qui augmente la concentration des gaz à effet de serre, provoque un réchauffement climatique qui bouleverse les écosystèmes de manière dramatique. It's a lovely verb there, comes up quite a bit in the listening and in the reading comprehension as well. Bouleverser means to devastate or overwhelm. Okay, so we've got recul de glaciers, fonte des glaces, désertification, augmentation du niveau de la mer, aggravation de l'intensité des catastrophes naturelles. So, you've got the glaciers being moved back, or kind of this idea of them reducing. You've got the melting of the polar ice caps, desertification, increase in sea level, and worsening. Remember, aggraver is the verb to worsen, okay? So, a worsening of the intensity of natural catastrophes. Ces modifications visibles partout sur la planète ont des conséquences dramatiques sur la faune. Exemple, l'ours polaire a besoin de la banquise pour se nourrir. So the polar bear, right? L'ours, polar bear. Sorry, l'ours polaire is the polar bear. L'ours is just a bear. A besoin de la banquise. So he needs his banquises, like the ice fields, okay? Pour se nourrir, to feed. Seule la banquise lui permet d'attraper les phoques. Phoque, that's a seal, okay? Ses proies de prédilection, so his favorite prey. La fonte anormale de la banquise en Arctique pourrait bien causer sa perte dans un avoir proche. So the melting, the abnormal melting of the ice fields in the Arctic could, remember, could well cause his the loss of him in a close future. Fragmentation de son habitat, raréfaction de ses proies, elles aussi touchées par le réchauffement climatique, difficulté à chasser, un exemple parmi d'autres, one example among others. Okay, so list 6 human activities. Sorry, I'm just going to get my pen here now. I'm going to use, we'll say, I'm going to use green for the answers here. Okay, so 6 human activities from the text that's causing climate change. So let's have a look. We've got utilisation massive de combustibles fossiles, right? Using the fossil fuels, agriculture, intensive rearing of animals, use of fertilizer, remember engrais, fertilizer, overexploitation, massive destruction of forests as well. Okay, next one, B, list 5 consequences of climate change, which is dramatically disrupting ecosystems. We've got the glaciers being diminished. We've got the melting of the ice caps, desertification, increase in sea level, and the worsening of the intensity of natural disasters. And C, identify 2 difficulties the polar bear faces due to climate change. Okay, so we've got fragmentation de son habitat, the breaking up of his habitat, raréfaction de ses proies, and the making rare of his prey, so the reduced number of prey that he has as a result of climate change. 2. Destruction et fragmentation des habitats. L'homme urbanise, cultive, right, et industrialise à tout va. À tout va, nice expression, kind of means like crazy. Il construit des routes, des autoroutes, des banlieues, suburbs, des zones résidentielles. Il transforme des forêts primaires en forêts à espèces uniques. Les surexploite, les détruit. Il bâtit des empires industriels, des royaumes agricoles, réduisant les habitats naturels de la faune à une peu de chagrin. Toutes les espèces animales sont touchées par cette modification en profondeur de l'environnement. Exemple, la savane africaine, lieu de vie des éléphants, disparaît au profit de culture. En Australie, les kangourous meurent à la pelle, écrasés comme les mouches par des véhicules. L'implantation de palmiers à huile de pain grignote le terrain de vie des orang-outans. Le surpâturage diminue les sources d'alimentation et les possibilités de nidification des abeilles. So we have examples here from the African savanna with the elephants disappearing for the profit of cultures. In Australia, we have the kangaroos who are dying by the shovel load. Okay, à la pelle means a whole load of, okay. Écrasé comme des mouches. Mouche is like a fly, okay, so squashed like a fly by the cars. Okay, so the plantation of the palm trees, right? Les palmiers for, palm oil. We know grignoter can mean to snap. We had that before, but it can also mean to erode. Okay, so erode the land of the habitat of the orangutans. And also, we've got le surpâturage. This is an example, guys, where you need to be thinking of the links between French and English in your comprehension and sounding it out. Pâturage. If you see that, I'll just zoom up on it just so you can see. If you see that accent there, we call it accent circumflex, it means that, there was a letter that would have been dropped out of there from Old French. For example, forêt, hôpital, right? Normally in Old French you would have had the S there, so it would be more like English. You would have it like that. Okay, so there's normally a letter that's been dropped out, and a lot of the time it's an S. So if you just have a look at this, sur we know means on or over, right? Pâturage, so pasture. If you think about pasture, when what context are you looking at there? If you put a cow out to pasture, means that they're out grazing. Okay, so overgrazing, le surpâturage, overgrazing. Okay, and remember you've got diminue there, the verb to reduce. So reduces the sources of food and the possibilities of nesting, nidification, nesting for les abeilles are the bees. Okay, pollution. Des brosses à dents retrouvées dans l'estomac d'animaux marins. des tortues asphyxiées par les sachets plastiques, des amphibiens à 5 pattes en raison des pesticides, pollution des océans, pollution des sols, pollution de l'air. Aucun milieu n'est épargné. Un saccage planétaire qui a des dommages irrémédiables sur la faune. Il existe plusieurs types de pollution, mais toutes ont la même et unique origine, l'activité humaine. So all of the pollution there that's causing damage to the environment. We have toothbrushes being found in the stomach of sea animals. We've got tortoises who are asphyxiated by plastic bags. We have amphibians who have 5 feet due to pesticides. Pollution of the ocean, we have of the ground and of the air as well. So we would have done all this kind of vocab. No terrain is safe. Okay, remember, or épargner can be to save, like to save money, épargner, but also means to be saved here. Un saccage planétaire qui a des dommages. So, it's really a sacking of the planet. So we'll go down here and have a look at the different pollution. So la pollution industrielle, rejet gazeux, rejet nucléaire, that should be all fine to you. La pollution chimique, rejet médicamenteux, épandage, pesticides, engrais. Épandage there means the spreading of manure, okay? Épandage. And we had fertilizer here and engrais again. La pollution visuelle, lumière artificielle qui perturbe le rythme biologique des animaux nocturnes. La pollution sonore, bruit de transport, vibration avec des conséquences sur la communication acoustique, utiliser les animaux. Et la pollution accidentelle, marée noire, accident nucléaire, malheureusement souvent dû à un laisser-aller. Okay, so all that should be fine. Down here, is there anything that needs to be explained? This one down here, marée noire, we had before. Oil spills, nuclear accidents caused due to un laisser-aller. Kind of means sloppiness, okay? Negligence. Okay, 4. Surexploitation des ressources. Avec nos 7 milliards d'individus, nous vivons désormais à crédit. La surexploitation des ressources, surpêche, agriculture intensive a épuisé notre planète. À ce rythme-là, les océans seront bientôt dépeuplés et les vers sans vie. Sommes-nous à ce point inconscients pour offrir un tel monde en héritage à nos enfants? Okay, so overexploitation of resources with our 7 milliard, not million, milliard, billion individuals, right? Individu is an individual. We are living désormais, from now on, in credit. La surexploitation de ressources, so surpêche, agriculture intensive. Sur means again on or over, so overfishing, intensive agriculture has, if you're épuisé, you're wrecked or you're exhausted, it's exhausted our planet. À ce rythme-là, at that rate, les océans seront bientôt dépeuplés, so they're going to be, depopulated, all the fish, and also the lands without life. Are we at this point inconscient? Are we reckless? Okay, inconscient, reckless to be offering this as a heritage to our children. So, right, we'll go down to the questions now. So that's question is phrased very strangely. I didn't get the second draft saved of this, but anyway. So according to section 2, why are kangaroos dying? So if we go back up and have a look, it says about the kangaroos. Where are you? Kangaroos there. They're dying by the bucket load. Remember, à l'appel, les kangaroos écrasés comme des mouches par des véhicules. They're being killed by cars. Okay. Bees. Why are the bees dying? Because of le surpâturage, overgrazing, which is causing a reduction in their food. Okay, list 3 examples of sea life affected by pollution. So 3 examples of sea life affected by pollution we have up here. We have des brosses de dents, retrieved, and all that kind of stuff there. So any of that, which I explained earlier, it's fine for that question there. Next one, D. What impact does visual pollution have on animals? Visual pollution. So, lumière artificielle qui perturbe le rythme biologique des animaux nocturnes. So it's disrupting the biological rhythm of nocturnal animals. down here we're on to, let me see, sound pollution then. And that one was: the noise of transport, etc., vibrations have consequences on the acoustic communication used by animals. Two examples of overexploitation: we have overfishing and intensive agriculture. And G then, two consequences of such overexploitation are the oceans will be depopulated and the land will be without life. Okay, section 3. So braconnage, really important. Braconnage for this topic means poaching, okay, poaching. So braconnage et trafic d'animaux sauvages menacés. Saviez-vous que sur le marché noir, une corne de rhinocéros se vend entre 20 000 et 51 000 euros le kilo? Hyper lucratif et quasiment sans risque pour les coupables. Le commerce des animaux sauvages est le troisième plus grand trafic du monde après celui de la drogue et des armes. Le commerce croule d'animaux morts ou vifs sur des fins diverses. So, did you know that on the le marché noir is on the black market? A rhinoceros's horn sells for that, okay? So extremely lucrative and almost, quasiment, nice word there, almost without risk for les coupables we've had before looking at crime. Les coupables are the guilty. Le commerce des animaux sauvages, so the sale or the business of wildlife, is the third biggest illegal trafficking after drugs and firearms. So, le commerce cruel d'animaux morts ou vifs sur des fins diverses serves various ends, okay? La mode des animaux de compagnie exotiques. You would have known animaux de compagnie from first year as your pets. So, exotic pets. And for any of you that have been a fake Tiger King or Netflix, this is kind of on a topical or fod. Les NAC, nouveaux animaux de compagnie, font l'objet d'un véritable phénomène de mode, et cela fait déjà des années que cela dure. Les braconniers, so braconnage is poaching, les braconniers are going to be the poachers, capturent serpents, perroquets, iguanes, oiseaux, suricates, dans des quantités telles que les populations fondent à vue d'œil. Des intermédiaires les transportent dans des Tupperware ou des sacs de manioc et leur font passer les frontières facilement en échange de baquiches. Les animaux qui survivent aux conditions de transport épouvantables se retrouvent vendus à prix d'or dans les animaleries ou sur Internet sur des sites très connus comme Le Bon Coin ou Nature AB. Okay, so just to break this down, the poachers are capturing all of these kind of animals: snakes, perroquet, this is going back to first year vocab, parrots, iguanas, birds, suricat or your meerkat in such quantities that, and you can, the populations are melting visibly. Okay, so all of these exotic animals, their populations are dwindling, and yet the poachers keep on poaching them. These middlemen transport them in Tupperware or sac de manioc, sort of like cassava, okay? It's a natural ingredient, don't worry about it. But anyway, et leur font passer les frontières facilement en échange de baquiches, and make them go through les frontières, the borders, in exchange for baquiche, for some bribe money. Les animaux qui survivent aux conditions de transport épouvantables, really tiring conditions, transport conditions, find themselves sold at prix d'or, really high, prices, in the animalerie, that's like your pet shop, ou sur Internet, sur des sites. Okay, so, les vêtements et objets en produits dérivés de la faune. Manteau en fourrure de léopard des neiges, peau de félin, bijoux en écailles de tortue, bibelots ornés d'ivoire, ceintures et sacs à main en peau de crocodile. Les animaux sont sacrifiés pour satisfaire les envies de souvenirs de voyage ou pour servir de faire-valoir social. Okay, so we've got, the fur coats from snow leopards, skins of cats, plastic or bijou or your jewelry made from écailles or the scales, okay, of a tortoise. Bibelots d'ornés, so your trinkets, bibelots are trinkets, ornés d'ivoire, ornated with ivory. Your belts and your handbags in crocodile skin, etc. Okay, so these animals are sacrificed to satisfy the desires or the need for souvenirs, for traveling souvenirs, okay, for these places, and to make to shed a good light on the societies there, okay. Faire valoir means to make somebody look good. Ok, l'appétit pour la viande sauvage ou la viande d'espèces protégées. Tartare de singe, steak de requin, soupe de tortue, pangolin bouilli, probably heard of the pangolin now with the coronavirus, singe pour les fêtes, viande de brousse, au menu, on trouve de tout et partout dans le monde. L'Afrique sublime réserve de faune sauvage est devenue un supermarché où chacun se sert sans vergogne pour nourrir les estomacs mondiaux affamés d'exotisme. So all kinds of crazy dishes there. Monkey tartare, steak of a requin is your shark, tortoise soup, boiled pangolin, singe is a monkey, okay, served for les fêtes, and also viande de brousse is kind of a bushmeat, okay. So everything is being served. Next one, la pharmacopée, okay, which has got to do with making up drugs, etc. Poudre de corne de rhinocéros transforme en filtre soi-disant miracle. The powder of a rhinoceros' horn transforms into filtre is like a potion, okay? And soi-disant means supposedly. Soi-disant, it's actually a nice expression you could use in your written work. Supposedly. Soi-disant miracle, supposedly a miracle solution or potion. Os, now your os is your bones, okay? So os de tigre, tiger bones, pour les rhumatismes. Exploitation de la bile d'ours. So bear's bile, okay? Dans ce domaine, le commerce illicite d'organes d'animaux sauvages est essentiellement dopé par la demande de la médecine traditionnelle asiatique, détruisant des populations entières, décimant des espèces. So basically just saying it's being used for traditional Asian medicine. Okay. A, what are the top 3 illegal trafficking markets in the world? So we have it here. We've got le commerce des animaux sauvages, and we have la drogue et des armes. Sale of wild animals, drugs, and weapons. B, what 5 animals does the traffic mention? What 5 animals does the article mention poachers capturing? So remember, poachers, les braconniers, donc c'est serpents, perroquets, so snakes, parrots, iguanas, birds, suricats are the meerkats as well. C, list at least 4 fashion items derived from exotic animals. So remember, you have the manteau en fourrure, okay, fur coat, de léopard, des neiges, snow leopard fur coat, peau de félin, so cat skin, bijoux en écailles de tortue, a turtle kind of scales, bijoux are jewelry, bibelots ornés d'ivoire, bibelots are like trinkets, okay, so that are ornated in ivory, and ceinture et sac à main en peau de crocodile, so crocodile skin, belts and sac à main handbags. List at least 4 food items derived from exotic animals. So you had the tartare du singe, okay, the monkey tartare, the steak de requin, sheep, or not sheep, sorry, what do you call it? Shark steak, soupe de tortue, turtle soup, pangolin bouilli. You have probably heard of the boar pangolin from the coronavirus. Thought to be one of the animals that perhaps could have spread the coronavirus. Anyway, singe again you have is the monkey, okay, so pour les fêtes, for festivals, and you've got viande de brousse, which is your bushmeat. Okay, and then you have E, list 3 animal products sold for traditional Asian medicine purposes. So you have where are we? Yeah, the powder of the rhinoceros's horn. Okay, you have the bone of the tiger. You have the bile of the bear. Okay, you could also have the wild animal organs as well. Ok, last section, section 4. Pourquoi la protection de la faune sauvage est vitale? Sauvegarder les animaux sauvages n'est pas une option, mais une nécessité vitale pour notre propre survie, our own survival, okay, notre propre survie. Sauvegarder les animaux sauvages, to save wild animals. It's not an option, but vital necessity for our own survival. Dans la nature, tout est parfaitement en équilibre. Everything is in perfect harmony in nature. Tout est vivant, tout est lié. Right? Everything is living, everything is linked. Si les poissons ingèrent plastique, mercure et autres substances toxiques, nous finissons par les ingérer aussi. If the fish ingest plastics, mercury, and other toxic substances, we end up, and that's a nice expression, finir par, okay, to end up doing something. So we end up by ingesting the same as well, okay? Si les abeilles, and we had that before with the bees, okay? So the bees ne jouent plus leur rôle de pollinisateurs, if they no longer play their role as pollinators, un jour, one day, il n'y aura plus de fruits, there will no longer be any fruits. Si les réserves africaines se vident de leurs félins, de leurs éléphants, de leurs girafes, il n'y aura plus de tourisme et donc moins de revenus pour les populations locales. So less tourism, less revenue for the local populations. Déjà fragilisés, already fragile, qui vivent du tourisme, who live off the tourism. Sans compter que la nature est une pharmacopée géante. Les plantes comme les animaux recèlent des milliards de remèdes pour nos maux. So, plants like animals getting thousands of remedies, produce thousands of remedies for our ailments without needing to destroy them, okay? So then you have les projets et les solutions de l'OMPE. Comment protéger les animaux? 1. Éducation à la protection de la biodiversité vers une école de la nature. Étant donné, right, remember given, étant donné, given, l'urgence et les enjeux pour notre propre survie, la protection de la biodiversité et le développement durable doivent être des matières enseignées à l'école sur le terrain. Plus la prise de conscience est forte, mieux chacun mesurera la portée de ses actes au quotidien. So basically what they're saying here is that it's really important. So these are the projects and the solutions from this organization, the World Organization for the Protection of the Environment. They're saying how to protect animals. We have to educate about the protection of biodiversity. And they're saying that basically, given the urgency and the issues for our own survival, protection of biodiversity and the development durable, sustainable development must be subjects that are taught at school on the ground, okay, sur le terrain, on the ground, okay, and the more that people are aware, the better each person will be able to bring that knowledge to their daily actions, okay? Acte au quotidien. Ok, 2. Création du CMPE, Code mondial de protection de l'environnement. Nous ne voulons plus de lois isolées, plus de directives qui peuvent être contournées en jouant sur les mots, plus d'interdictions qui sont appliquées à certains mais pas à d'autres. L'objectif est de créer un code commun que personne ne serait exempt d'appliquer, à commencer par les gouvernements. Basically saying that they want a global code to protect the environment, not isolated laws or directives which could be overturned by playing on words, okay, and bans which are applied to certain people but not to other people or other countries. The objective here is to create a code that's common that nobody would be able to, or nobody would be exempt from it applying, and to start off with the governments. Right, 3. création d'une génothèque, right, mondiale. So you have bibliothèque in French is a library. You have médiathèque is kind of like a library that has a lot of like multimedia, DVDs, CDs, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so tech kind of means that kind of idea of a place where you're like a library that has things that are logged and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so l'objectif est de pouvoir rassembler au sein d'une bibliothèque géante les ADN. So DNA, right? So a big library of DNA de toutes les espèces menacées, of all threatened species, ou en voie de disparition. Again, that really important phrase there, on the road to extinction, okay, or near extinct, afin de pouvoir les recréer à l'avenir lorsque la technologie le permettra, right, which is a bit crazy, that they wanted to be able to recreate them, so it's kind of like Jurassic Park stuff, in the future when the technology will permit it, okay, and there's your future tense there, your future sample, permettra. So ADN is your DNA in French. 4. Super drone, faune sous haute protection, right? So the idea of these super drones and wildlife under protection, top protection here. So l'idée est de financer et mettre en place, remember mettre en place, put in place, important for your essays, un projet de drone comme celui de Ranger Drone Project. Pardon. Ces drones permettront de surveiller d'immenses étendues, right? So these drones will allow to survey, or do surveillance on big, open, spread out areas of land. Véritable réservoir de faune sauvage, mais également terre de prédilection des braconniers. Just basically saying that these areas are, reservoirs of reservoirs of an awful lot of wildlife, but also equally, this is where the braconniers prefer to go. Okay, and then 5, des moyens à la hauteur de l'urgence. Il est nécessaire que les rangers puissent lutter à armes égales. Just look at the grammar there. Il est nécessaire. Remember we had that before. Il est nécessaire que triggers the subjunctive. So pouvoir and subjunctive puisse, okay? So it is necessary that rangers are able to lutter, fight, à armes égales, at on an equal footing or with equal weapons, contre ceux qui agissent contre nature, against those who act against nature. So salaire à la hauteur du risque encouru. So a raised salary due to for the risk that's been ran, okay, going against these people. Équipement adapté, adapted equipment. Équipe formée en nombre suffisant de jour comme de nuit. So teams formed with a sufficient number for day as night, okay, for day and night. And mission valorisée, that's an important mission, okay. And 6 then, création de réserves naturelles super protégées. L'idée est d'utiliser les nouvelles technologies à notre disposition, satellites, émetteurs, détecteurs et même robots, pour renforcer ou créer de nouvelles réserves dont la protection sera considérablement accrue. We had that word accrue again, increased, okay? So the idea is to use new technologies at our disposition, satellites, etc., to reinforce or to create new reserves. Renforcer there can mean to strengthen, or to create new reserves dont la protection sera, where the protection will be considerably increased. Okay, 4a, identify at least 3 reasons why it is vital to protect wildlife from this section. So any of this stuff up here about, being for our own survival, okay? You could say about the fish ingesting plastic. Well, it's going to end up with us doing the same thing because we're eating the fish. Bees not playing their role as pollinators. There'll be no more fruit. And the impact that, the reduction of cats and elephants and giraffes in African reserves, there'd be no more tourism for the local populations. Okay, so all of that there is fine for that answer. There are 6 solutions proposed by the World Organization for the Protection of the Environment. Explain these very briefly in your own words. So again, quick recap. Number 1 was about education. Okay, we had to make these subjects taught at school about protection of biodiversity. Number 2 was to create a common code. And number 3 was creation of DNA lab for the future. Number 4 was the super drones that could protect the wildlife. 5 to equip rangers adequately, and 6 the creation of natural reserves that are super protégé, highly protected. Okay, so question kubik. From context, what do you think the words highlighted mean? So I'm going to run through this quickly. Take your pen out and just get ready and correct them as we go. 1. Les mammifères, should be an accent there, is mammals. 2. Les combustibles fossiles are fossil fuels. 3. L'engrais is your fertilizer. 4. Bouleverser, we're missing an E there, is to overwhelm or devastate. 5. Une phoque is a seal. 6. Ses proies are its prey. 7. Le chagrin can mean grief. 8. Le surpâturage, overgrazing. 9. Une abeille is a bee. 10. Désormais, from now on. 11. Inconscient is reckless. 12. Le braconnage is second one now. There. Le braconnage is your poaching. 13. Les coupables, the guilty. 14. Les braconniers, poachers. 15. Un manteau en fourrure is a fur coat. 16. Requin is a shark. 17. Notre propre survie, our own survival. 18. Le développement durable, sustainable. Remember, durable, sustainable development. 19. Les ADN is your DNA. And 20. Accru is the French for increased. Okay, and the last thing I had to do then was revise the junior cert vocabulary on Les Animaux, just to make sure that you can see an awful lot of that stuff came up there, and if you didn't have it for a read comprehension or listen comprehension, you'd be very stuck. So make sure, lads, anything that's like your junior cert vocab, you really need to make sure that you have that, because that's what's expected for the exam. So okay, so the last thing we're going to look at is an essay question that I want you to do for me for Friday. So you're going to have between, you can make a start and plan it maybe now and get it finished tomorrow. And tomorrow I'll also be putting up a video where I'll go through kind of brainstorm on all of the different topics we looked at for the environment that's not covered in the first and second brainstorm. The plan is, what you're going to do over the long weekend then is you're going to prepare for a test on Tuesday on the environment, and I'll give you a random essay title, and you'll have to do it on Tuesday in the time that I allocate. Okay, so just look at the question. This comes from the 2014 paper. Selon le texte de la section 1, question 1, les cirques font l'objet de critiques régulières de la part d'associations de défense des animaux. Il semble cruel de garder les animaux sauvages en captivité dans les zoos et les cirques, ou même en semi-liberté dans les parcs animaliers. Qu'en pensez-vous? So we're looking at animal cruelty here. Is it right to have animals in zoos, or even in les parcs animaliers, in animal parks, in semi-liberty? So you're going to use the vocab that we looked at there, and I'll also put up some more vocab on that with the brainstorm tomorrow, and you can be working on that. So I'm going to set a deadline for that essay probably for Friday night. Get it done, out of the way, and then you can do a bit of study over the weekend for that test on Tuesday. Okay, so sin é, gur míle mágíomh guys agus feici mé sibh an sin amórach le físeán beag agus an sin ar an démart. Gur míle.